How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Okay, my royal family. This is a popcorn video. You see how much time I done devoted to this video. I've been waiting for this. Oh, I've been waiting for this. And it is so very sweet. Oh yeah, it's real sweet. And when I put my spin on it, ouch, ouch. Trump, you feeling some kind of way. You feeling some kind of way. You all up in your feelings. You all on Twitter going the fuck off. My royal family, I knew that during anytime because we were in the retrograde phase, that this shit was going to explode in his face. But I didn't know which retrograde it was going to be. But I said, when it all hits the fan, it's going to be in the heart of retrograde, because communication is always an issue. And Trump got the nerves to say folks is lying. I think he done told over this year alone about 4,000 lies. Somebody keeps up with that shit. He don't care. Oh, he don't care at all. So, well, let's continue on in this journey, my royal family. You got everything you need, because that's when you pop out that real good-ass weed, that good weed. You know, just stop your shit, roll you a fat one. You know, take your time. You can come back here to the True Royal Family, and you can pass that shit to me, too, because this shit is sweet. This shit is real sweet. So, anyway. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm being very slow and methodical in this dragging. You know, I must deliver to the royal family. So, Michael, you don't look so good. You all right? Are you gonna hold up? Ooh, you look like you lost some weight. You ain't been getting no sleep. Are you on something? What you been doing behind them closed doors? Boy, I know the last time I did a video, the feds was busting the door down at your house, at the hotel, and even at your office. And ever since then, you've been looking like you scared to death. But damn, as time went on, you don't look too cool. Let me go back. See, he didn't have them bags. Not bad. He didn't have no bags too much. But shit, what a difference a few months make. Ooh, your daddy is pissed. So, my royal family. Let me read this. I got some juicy stuff to read the family. So, Michael Cohen pleads guilty. Said he lied about Trump's knowledge of Moscow project. Oh, he lied. Oh my goodness, Trump lied. And his personal lawyer, been his lawyer for over 10 years, flipped on his ass. Because, Trump ain't loyal to nobody. So, this man had to do what he had to do to, when I talk about our immediate situation. So, it says here, President Donald Trump spoke with Michael Cohen more extensively about the proposal Trump Tower project in Moscow than Cohen previously told Congress. Cohen admitted in federal court Thursday. So he admitted that he lied before Congress. Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, pleads guilty Thursday to making false statements to Congress about the Russian investigation in a charge brought by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Cohen previously said talks about the Moscow project had ended in January 2016 just prior to the Iowa caucus. Cohen revelations are potentially significant, hard to pronounce that one for me, because they appear to show that Trump was engaged in business dealings with Russia in the midst of a campaign in which Moscow interfered to help elect him. Boy, it's a lot of hands on this. It also intersect with other information that Mueller knows to create political and legal jeopardy for the president. That's a breach. That's a breach. You know, we have to understand that this shit is serious. I'm going to get into that later. Let me just read some more of this, because it's some serious shit, even though I take joy in dragging. Cohen waived his right to an indictment when he appeared in a New York federal court. In truth and in fact, and as Cohen, well known, Cohen's representation about the Moscow project he made, House and Senate Intelligence Committees were false, misleading, Mueller office said in a court ruling. Cohen made the false statements too, gave the false impression that the Moscow project ended before the Iowa caucus and the very first primary in hopes of limiting the ongoing Russia investigation. Trump responded to Cohen's admission at the White House Thursday. Trump said pretty much, he said he's a weak person. Trump said before departing to Argentina. Also, as we continue on, so he was convicted with a fairly long-term sentence with things unrelated to Trump organization. Trump said, you can't believe nothing Trump said, citing Cohen legal issues with mortgages and the IRS. What he's doing to do is to get a reduced sentence, Trump said. And also, and I didn't pull up that other damn article, but I will tell you this. Also, he implicated all of Trump's children being in collusion in all this shit. Because, you know, Lisa Cabrera has been revealing to the royal family about Trump's children being outright crooks and just stealing money from folks. That's what they do. They just a pack of thieves, gangsters, and liars. That's all they is. And I got 2 videos to play for the royal family, and I'm gonna go much deeper into why this shit is so serious, because some people don't know politics really well, and I'm not trying to act like I'm 100% versed in politics, but I do study politics, been studying it since the 12th grade. So let's go over here. Let me see what meme I got here. Oh yeah, look at that one. I thought that was kind of cute. It's me, boss. Sorry, you have the wrong number. So let's get into this video. I'll just play these videos back to back. Just my luck.
You know what it is here that keeps me really coming? It's the
News Special Report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Good morning. We are coming on the air now with major breaking news in the Russia investigation. Michael Cohen, President Trump's former attorney, longtime fixture, has reached a new plea deal with special counsel Robert Mueller. He is appearing in federal court in Manhattan at any moment, expected to plead guilty for false statements to Congress after dozens of hours of testimony to Mueller's team centered on the key issues of collusion with Russia and obstruction of justice by President Trump. In his earlier plea deal with prosecutors in New York, Cohen implicated President Trump in campaign finance felonies. This cooperation potentially even more damaging to the president. Cohen, now the most pivotal public witness in the Mueller investigation. He reported directly to President Trump for more than 10 years, was a fixture at Trump Tower in New York, and was actively pursuing a Trump Tower in Moscow during the presidential campaign. I want to bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Dan, Cohen once promised to take a bullet for President Trump, but back in July, he told me he's putting family and country first, and now he poses a double-barreled threat to the president.
And I think, as you pointed out a moment ago, this is the more significant threat. Up to this point, we've been talking about Michael Cohen and implicating the president in campaign finance violations, basically helping to cover up the payments to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, and the timing of it and how that relates to the election itself. All of that important, significant, possible campaign finance violations. But here you're talking about the heart of the Robert Mueller investigation, talking about Russia. You're talking about the president's, potentially the president's knowledge about what he knew, when he knew it, connected to Russia. Totally different game here.
And this is voluntary cooperation by Michael Cohen. Also expected to get a letter from the counsel, the special counsel Robert Mueller, detailing his full measure of cooperation and the value of that cooperation. That could also be very significant to Cohen.
Absolutely. And when you point out about the voluntary nature of this, remember, he pled guilty to the 8 counts, facing 46 to 63 months behind bars in connection with that case. But, it wasn't a true deal. It was a guilty plea. And that's what made it so powerful. And so I think that further becomes an issue here as well, because it is clear now that he is cooperating with Mueller's team.
Yeah, I want to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, for more on that. Not only is cooperating, also are learning that he will continue to cooperate, and we know that Mueller has been leading a meticulous investigation.
That's right, George. Sources familiar with these discussions about a possible guilty plea say they focus on false statements Cohen allegedly made to Congress during closed-door hearings before intelligence committees investigating allegations of Russian collusion. Sources familiar with the discussions tell ABC News Cohen spent about more than 70 hours with the Mueller team, with questions focusing on contacts with Russia during the campaign, Trump's business ties to Russia, obstruction of justice, and talk of possible pardons. The significance here is that the Mueller probe now has a cooperating witness from Trump's inner circle who is providing details specifically relating to issues of Russia connections. And George, because Cohen's statements were made before Congress, it raises questions about what other associates of the Trump campaign told congressional committees. Mueller's working toward a conclusion, and matters may only intensify. George, the final moments of such deals are fluid, dicey even, but this appears imminent.
This does appear imminent. I want to bring Cecilia Vega, our senior White House correspondent, as well. We don't know what President knows about this, if anything, until right now. But we do know for the last 24 hours, he's been very spun up.
Increasingly combative on...
Okay, that's the end of that. So, as we continue on, my royal family, let's hear Trump's reaction.
So Michael Cohen has made many statements to the House, as I understand it, and the Senate. He put out a statement talking about a project which was essentially, I guess, more or less of an option that we were looking at in Moscow. Everybody knew about it. It was written about in newspapers. It was a well-known project. It was during the early part of 16, and I guess even before that. It lasted a short period of time. I didn't do the project. I decided not to do the project, so I didn't do it. So we're not talking about doing a project. We're talking about not doing a project. Michael Cohen, what he's doing is he was convicted, I guess. You'll have to put it into legal terms. But he was convicted with a fairly long-term sentence on things totally unrelated to the Trump organization, having to do with mortgages and having to do with cheating the IRS, perhaps, a lot of different things. I don't know exactly, but he was convicted of various things unrelated to us. He was given a fairly long jail sentence, and he's a weak person. And by being weak, unlike other people that you watch, he's a weak person, and what he's trying to do is get a reduced sentence. So he's lying about a project that everybody knew about. I mean, we were very open with it. We were thinking about building a building. I guess we had in a form, it was an option. I don't know what you'd call it. I decided ultimately not to do it. there would have been nothing wrong if I did do it. If I did do it, there would have been nothing wrong. That's
all right, Trump, we sick of you and your lying ass ways. So if it's no big deal, Trump, if it's no big deal, why it says here Trump abruptly cancels planned Putin meeting? It ain't no big deal. You're basically saying that ooh, Michael, you look so bad. Ooh. You basically saying he's just trying to get out the hot seat, because you know he did, and you told some partial truth, but see, I go by your actions. So you feeling some kind of way while you on your way to Argentina, and you know Trump don't do too well when he go overseas, and I know why now. Because he a scary ass bitch. Oh yeah, that was revealed last week. So let's listen to this video.
From the president, that he's announced that he's canceling this meeting with Putin, not because of news on Russia investigation, he says, but because of the clash between Ukraine and Russian warships. Are you happy to hear that?
No, I would have liked him to meet Putin and challenge Putin, to find his spine as it relates to Putin's violation of the international order, as well as the cyber attacks on our own democracy. What I wouldn't want to see is another Helsinki performance. This was his opportunity to redeem himself, stand up for American values, stand up for the rule of international law, stand up for our own national security interests. And he had that opportunity, and instead he's abdicating it.
I mean, do you think, though, if he had met, there would have been anything different than Helsinki? Because what has changed since then, right?
Well, that's a good test, Kate. I mean, we needed to see. Just avoiding a meeting doesn't speak to all the issues that are out there. It doesn't speak to the recent violations of Ukrainian sovereignty, violations on the high sea, doesn't speak to the continuous cyber attacks against the United States, doesn't speak to this latest revelation of economic interests in Russia. And so he avoids that by not having a meeting instead of confronting Putin. And it is ironic that this president cannot find his spine to confront Vladimir Putin, but can, you know, challenge the closest allies the United States has across the globe.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's something that he gonna have to deal with.
Hydrogen.
So, let's get back over here. So, my royal family, on a serious note, what I want to add is that when you are a president, you're held to a very high standard. And before Trump even got in office, he was already, the term that you would use is breach. And in that he can be compromised. And Trump is a danger to America. And all this shit where he gets up here and get on Twitter, he can reveal some things. He likes to use his personal cell phone. You don't know if those things are hacked in. And his children do the same thing. So when you look at Trump, along with his greasy ass kids, they all have no problem being compromised for their greater gain. It's about their bottom line, and they will use whatever they can use because they just a bunch of thieves and liars. But how this thing is going to work, my royal family, is that they're going to dump it all on Trump. See, they didn't have 2 years to study his greasy ass. And they go as far as using psychologists. They go as far as using body language experts. And they're going to deal with him in such a way that he is going to fully understand he don't really have any power at all. It's all an illusion. And then, you know, I'm in agreement with this situation also with Putin. He wants everybody to stand up and have a spine. that it seems like when he gets around Putin, the bitch comes up out of him. So he's a danger. He's a danger because he has impulse problems and he cannot keep his fucking mouth shut at all. We don't know what he has told people. We don't know what he has done. But Pandora's box is fully open. Oh, yes, it is. So, Trump, I know you're not going to sleep so good tonight. You know, I know you're going to act a fool when you go overseas and you ain't going to focus on the business at hand and being the leader of America. America. Sad ass country. But it's falling apart. It's being stripped of what she truly is. A straight whore. And it ain't pretty what you see when you strip it down. So anyway, Michael, you need to get yourself together. You got wife, kids. You know, just tell the truth. You know, don't be like the other fool, Manafort. They didn't tacked on some more time. But you got a little bit more sense because you're a lawyer and you know how this shit gets down and you know how your folks get down and you know how greasy you is. And this is nothing more mere than karma. See, the royal family fully understand about karma. And we don't give a damn about you. We're just taking joy at your public beating. Oh, yeah. And Trump said that you're awake. Yeah, you're awake. But, you know, Trump is weak too. Y'all are all one and the same. That's pretty much it, my royal family. I know I'm dragging it out. I'm dragging it out, my royal family, because I've been waiting. I have a great deal of patience. A great deal of patience. So anyway, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.